welcome back to Black Bolt Podcast. Today we've got Hello Kitska with us. Say hello.
Hello.
Kitska.
Here, before we get started, let's take a sip of Cascade Street Distillery's Chipotle Vodka. Cheers, everybody.
Chipotle vodka.
Oh, let's do it right over the mixer.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Woo. Spicy. I'm in the mood for that today, though.
Oh, damn, that is spicy.
It is
Very
spicy.
It's
Get
peppery.
all of it.
Hot damn.
But it's good.
You know, like the first one's spicy, and then everything after that, it's like strangely smooth.
But the alcohol bite's not spicy. It's like
It's
actually
literally the pepper.
spicy.
Yeah. Spicy,
Which
baby.
is right in the throat.
Anyways, speaking of spicy, Kitska, hello Kitska. Just Kitska? Can I call you that? Where does that name come from?
So my family is Ukrainian. And so the name comes from my cultural background. There's a tool that we use when we make Ukrainian Easter eggs called pisanke. It's called a Kitska. And so I just kind of switched those letters around. I was like, Kitska. I like that a lot better. I like the way that sounded. So
Wow.
it also kind of sounds like cat or kitten a little bit too.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And you're not sketch, but you brought a sketchbook with some of your drawings, so this is kind of cool. And this seems like the birth of a lot of her sticker art, because I'm seeing she brought some. But for everyone who's watching, she brought a bunch of stickers for us, and we're very grateful for that.
Thank you.
But you see some of the stickers starting in here, and I think it's really cool.
Thank you.
That you're a person who starts out with drawings.
This cat drawing, did you send that with Scam?
I did.
Okay,
I did.
cool.
That's
Okay,
that's
I
what,
thought I
that's
recognized
what
that.
I guess that's what I'm known for. That's the first sketch I started with. All those stickers in there are my very first stickers that I ever drew
Really?
and had printed. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So those are my very, very first ones.
Damn.
So
Yeah.
is it Kitska because you like kittens, or like is that?
I like cats. I'm a cat lady.
Yeah,
there's
We
a
have,
lot of-
we have 2 cats. So cats just seemed
let loose
natural.
Yeah, may I
Oh,
check that
sorry.
out?
Yeah.
It's all good.
No worries. Seems like so Hello Kitty, Hello
Yeah,
Kitska,
hello-
and
yeah.
that's because of
I
all
was-
the cats. So I'm
I
sure
was
that.
trying. I was trying to be funny.
Oh,
and memorable too, because they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, hello, Kitska." I'm like, "Yeah, hi."
So how'd you first get into it?
It was actually Scam that got me into it.
Wow.
He kind of gently coaxed me into doing this
Yeah.
because I never thought I would be even remotely cool enough to be a street artist.
Was it his idea or yours to get you involved?
It was his idea. We started talking kind of on the internet after I had posted a photograph of one of his pieces in the Seattle Pike Place Market, the Gum Mall area.
Right.
And I had gone down with my parents, posted a photo after I'd taken it, and he found his hashtag because I hashtagged it Scam. He started following, and he just kind of started talking to me, and we started talking about art. And I was just kind of a fine artist. I did watercolors and like other things like that, but never even considered taking my art outside. I was really kind of shy and introverted, and he kind of kept coaxing, and I was like, all right, well, maybe I'll try. And then Seattle actually completely cleaned off all of the gum. Like it was thousands.
I heard about
yeah,
that.
it was gross. Like you could smell it when you were there.
Whoa.
What? Really?
That's
It
gnarly.
stunk like old gum and saliva.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was gnar. So he invited me to meet him and RX Skulls and Vox Romana, Dr. Scott. All of these street artists were coming down because Seattle's like, hey, we cleaned this crap off. Come decorate it again. And so I took the leap and I drove to Seattle and I met up with all of them. And I have anxiety, so I'm just kind of standing there sweating bullets because they were running late because somebody's car broke down or something. And I was like, they're not coming. I'm an idiot. They're not coming. And then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, it was this crowd of dudes with masks on. And I was like, what the hell is going on right now? And they just kind of, it was like a flurry of people and posters and wheat paste. And like the wall just started filling up immediately. And I didn't know which one he was because they were all covered. So I kind of walked around. I was like, are you Scam?
Wait, had you seen his real face?
Not really, no.
Okay.
No, it was kind of like a, guess who?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, all right. And then I bumped into a guy, his name is Damers, and I was like, are you Scam? He's like, no, he's coming. And I was like, okay, I'll just stand here for like, longer and just wait anxiously. And he came down and we introduced, ourselves to each other, and he He actually helped me put up my first poster, which was like, it was so tiny. And Vox helped me put the other one up because I was such a chicken shit. I was just like standing there like shaking. I'm like, I can't do it. He's like, you can do it. I'm like, I can't do it. And so he just kind of took it, put it up there for me. And then Vox took the other one. They were both really sweet. And then they invite me to hang out longer with all of them. We went to dinner. We talked more. And he's like, do you like this? Like, do you want to do this more? And I was like, yeah, actually. It made me feel like really alive and excited. Because, for a really long time, I had been depressed. I was in a relationship that was going nowhere. I was just miserable with life. And like, this was the first time in maybe 7 years that I felt like really alive again and excited about something and excited about my art. Because I had stopped making art for a really long time. And I just didn't, I just had no passion for it. It just everything kind of fell flat. So
they literally just invited anyone.
They did, yeah. Street artists. It was a lot of street artists from Portland. There were some street artists from Seattle there. A graph writer who became a good friend of mine. His name is Blink. He's everywhere. He does a lot of work on trains, and he's amazing. Mm-hmm. So I made a lot of new friends that night. A lot of new friends, and it was great.
Did they power wash the wall? I'm so curious about this wall. How did they power wash the gum
Yeah, they
off?
had this big power washing machine, and they took video of it. I think there's video online of this dude power washing, the gums just like sloughing off, and you're like, oh.
When was this that you went up there?
It was about 2015, November 2015, I believe.
I thought the gum wall's still there.
It is. So what happened is like tourists came back and they put gum back over all of our stuff.
That's so dumb.
And we were like, well, shit, we just decorated this wall, made it look, super awesome. And they just fucked it up again. So now I think they power wash the wall yearly because we just heard that they're doing it again. So we kind of thought about maybe going back to Seattle and doing it, even though come summertime, mostly like April, the tourists get back and they're like, oh, I'm just going to put my gum on the wall.
It's kind of the name of the game, though, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, when you put art out like that, it's going to go away. So.
Yeah. And it's not supposed to be permanent.
Yeah, I mean, it's public property.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So it's like it's a collective, and everything's going to get washed away at some point.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The few exceptions.
Yeah.
So you obviously formed some kind of connection with Scam.
I did.
Over the internet.
Yeah.
That's epic. So that seems like that completely changed the direction of your life.
It did, actually, big time.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's it's so weird how we live in a time now where that's kind of normal. Like something happens on the internet that just changes your whole fucking life.
Yeah. It flipped everything upside down on me.
Yeah, that's super cool.
That's the little yellow poster with the antlers. That's one of my first posters. Actually, a friend of ours snapped that photo and mailed it to us and was like, here's one of your first one of your first posters on the wall before the gum covered it.
Oh, that was the gum?
Yeah, that's before the gum. Yeah.
Wow.
Before the gum took over the wall again. So yeah, it's nice to have that little memory.
That is cute.
Thanks.
So where do you seek your inspiration from? I mean, I know it's cat based, but you definitely integrate, like that one has a spine and like a disconnected torso.
Yeah.
And, where's the motivation come from with you?
Well, I think this came mostly from being depressed and really sad and just kind of getting it out on paper and just, that was therapeutic for me. Art was always very therapeutic for me as a kid because I was just always kind of weird and kept to myself, and I'd be drawing or reading. I didn't have a whole lot of friends because I just had this crazy, weird, overactive imagination. I belonged in the Addams family, basically. I was just such an oddball. But a lot of my artwork comes from my dreams and my subconscious. I have a really crazy imagination, and these women with the long necks and the hair and the antlers, I call them my wardens. And when I go to sleep at night, I see them. They're kind of, I guess, they protect my thoughts, my emotions. They're just kind of always there. And I started seeing them when I was, fairly young. And they start popping up more and more. The sadder I got, the more I saw them. And I wondered, if there's probably correlation between them and how I was feeling.
Does it feel like a dream when you see them, or does it feel like more than that?
It almost feels real to me. But
it's really, only when you're sleeping.
It's only when I'm sleeping. Yeah, it's in my dreams. It's very comforting. I go into a really deep sleep, and they just they're there. So. Whoa. I know it's weird.
No, it's not weird.
But
it's so cool. Vivid that I don't think I have dreams that are that vivid that I remember them and they are reoccurring like that.
Yeah.
I've had some stuff like that, but I've read that that's like supposedly more astral projecting than, if you believe in that, than dreaming.
Oh.
Like when something feels real, you're actually kind of in another place.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't feel like obviously the physical plane. It feels different, but it feels like beyond.
Yeah, I bought that
Beyond
book
Dream
on
World.
that. Remember that?
Which one?
Astral Projection.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot you bought that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. What did it say? Did you read it?
Have you tried it yet?
Okay. Yeah. No, I've literally had this book since high school.
Oh.
Yeah, and I bought it and I read it and there were a couple step-by-step things which I was like,
awesome.
great, step by step. That's easy. Otherwise, because it's a book, I'm like, all I needed was a list.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell if I was just like falling asleep or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I think I'm just falling asleep.
Yeah.
I just took a nap. And no complaints there.
Yeah.
Love naps.
Yeah, I mean, naps are great.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell the
It
difference.
is hard. Did you try the binaural beats when you're going?
What?
You remember those?
Oh, yeah.
The binaural beats where you're
yeah.
supposed to make you feel like drugs. You have to like listen to it for 30 minutes, like while you're. But if you do before you go to sleep, you have weird dreams because it's like beta waves, and that's what makes you dream. It's weird. I'm just talking about
cool.
this weird dream
Wait,
stuff.
hold on. Where that's real?
It's a real thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
been around. That was around the same time that you probably bought that book.
Man.
But that thing was like kind of popular.
They're all called different names. There's like
Cocaine
the drug
and-
pack.
yeah.
And there's
Wait,
like this, you know.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
seriously, it's
yeah,
a
they're
real
like trying to.
thing.
They're literally trying to like use sound to make your brain feel the way it does on cocaine. It doesn't work, but it does fuck with you.
It does. It's cool though.
Yeah,
If
it's
you
cool
just
with you. It
chill
totally fucks
out,
with you.
meditate, lay down, and
Yeah.
put on some nice headphones with it. It really gets your mind.
You
in
feel
like a
different, no question. You
Blank
don't-
space.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty dope.
It's
You
really
just
cool.
look in awe right now.
I'm
Like,
so confused.
what?
You should really try
I'm
it.
really
Yeah.
curious what these sound like. That's it.
It's just like it's noise. It's I don't know how to. Kind of. Some of them sound like that.
Yeah, no, it's drones. It's just
Yeah.
drones like that and like multiple. Anyways, so when
Sorry.
so these dreams, no, because I'm curious because I've had dreams where I'm like, okay, this doesn't feel like a dream as I'm like touching shit
Yeah.
or whatever.
Right.
Is it like that?
I can feel things like the texture, the coolness or the warmth of it. They don't talk though. It's almost like we're connected at the mind where like they'll tell me how they're feeling or they'll warn me about something or someone's coming or something bad is going to happen. I'm sorry, you know.
Is it usually specific? Like, do you get specific details from them, or do you just get
No.
kind of feelings and you're like, oh, okay, I got to watch out for something apparently?
Yeah, like I'll get ominous warnings from them,
Yeah.
but like it's nothing like super detailed or anything like that. I wish it was because, you know, sometimes you're like, well, shit, you know, it would have been nice to have known this beforehand, but I knew this
Right.
was coming. So that's kind of how that is in my little surreal dream world.
And it's really only, you said they still come more often when you're sad?
More often when I'm feeling depressed or anxious or sad, and they're there when I'm happy too. But more often when I'm kind of sinking into like a depressive episode, they just start kind of coming more and more, you know, in my face. Like, okay, we're here. Like, we're here protecting you. You're going to be okay. You're going to get through this. And it's like, okay, cool.
And what do you do as a reaction to those?
I kind of feel mostly like an observer. I'm just kind of observing what they're doing, where they're going, what they're saying to me. It's just kind of, I'm just a watcher. I just kind of watch and listen to them, and watch them interact with each other. And
But like, how do you apply it to real life? Because we always talk about, you know, mental health and all that. And that's a pretty
Yeah.
relevant topic on
Yeah.
here. Like when you do get these warning signs, are there things that you do outside of the dream world
yeah.
that you take more cautious of?
Yeah, do you change your behavior? Do you actually
I
adjust?
do. I adjust my behavior. I make sure I get a lot more sunlight. I go outside more, or I'll spend more time in the studio, things like that. And like Scam will know too. Like sometimes I'll warn him that I'm not feeling good or I'm not feeling happy. And I kind of warn him a little bit too, just so he knows, because he really does. He fills up my cup. He makes me really happy. So that helps as well, having a really supportive, sweet partner. To kind of get you through that. But art really is that therapeutic release for me that keeps me happy and keeps me going. But getting outside and sunlight in the Pacific Northwest is like really important, especially when you suffer from depression.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've even bought those little UV bulbs for my my plants. They're for plants, but
I've got one.
They're good for you too.
I hate the color temperature on
The
it.
color's
Yeah.
really annoying, but it's
Yeah.
helpful.
Like, yeah, we're into that shit. We're into lighting.
Have you ever tried to depict them in a 3D art form?
I haven't yet. I had my first solo art show at the Fitting Room Gallery in PDX Exchange, and I did the deer heads because I see these floating deer heads too. They have these giant golden antlers, and just the stump of their neck is just like constantly dripping this like multicolored blood. It's really psychedelic in a way. But I finally made them 3D, and they're really kind of tall and big. And that was really difficult for me because I'm more of a 2-dimensional artist than a 3-dimensional artist. So I'd be up until like, 1 a.m. really frustrated, like screaming at this, inanimate object. Like, it's like, I really fucking hate this and I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm going to bed, I'm done. And, Scam would be like, no, you can do this. Like, just take a deep breath, walk away, you'll be fine. So, but 3-dimensional stuff is a pain in the ass for me, who's identifies as a two-dimensional artist more.
Yeah, usually lean towards one or the other.
Yeah, usually. Yeah. And the people who can do both, I'm really jealous of because they're just amazing. They're like a jack of all trades. And you're like, how the hell do you do that? And you're good at math? Well, fine. Great. Good for you.
Yeah, it seems like you gotta be pretty spatially intelligent to be able to do both.
Yeah.
Even installation artists, they're by far some of the deepest artists I think out there.
Yeah.
Like what? Like specifically?
Where, oh God, how do you even explain installation art? It's like, it's pure experience.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where it's like
it's everything.
It is
It's
everything,
visually,
performance
it's sound,
in a way, yeah.
and you like walk through it basically and experience it.
Yeah, that's the craziest stuff. I've always kind of
that's dope.
I've admired those artists.
Shit.
Yeah. Those people are insane.
I haven't really experienced anything super cool like that. Like that's the kind of thing I want to go to a museum for.
Well, we're lucky
it's a lot of
to
museums.
be close to one, and Portland Art Museum has some really good
they do.
ones sometimes.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they do.
Really good.
And I heard
ones.
the time-based art festival's coming up too.
Yeah,
that's all installation too.
Oh shit!
Kinda. Yeah. Is there something that you're wanting to do that you haven't quite done yet? Or like a medium that you're wanting to explore with, or just like take it to another level?
So I was part of the Taylor Electric Fest that the Portland Street Art Alliance had, and I did, a live paint with like Woke and Lucid Rose and a bunch of other people, and Kelly Pelka and a bunch of other people. And to have my art so large scale, it was fairly big, wasn't huge, but it was pretty big. To have my art on a building wall would be amazing and insane at the same time. That's something that I hope for eventually at some point in time. But for now, it's just kind of smaller scale walls until I kind of master spray paint, because I'm not really great with spray paint just yet, which was really stressful during the live paint because we had graph artists around. I'm like, oh God, I'm making an ass out of myself. As I'm like, it was the first time I was ever really spray painting anything.
Yeah.
And it was in front of a live audience. You're like, oh God, oh Jesus,
I think a lot of the times those kinds of people, if they can tell that you're like genuinely trying and putting your heart into it, they don't give a shit how bad it is.
Yeah. I got some advice. Like people were coming up and they're like, well, if you actually do this and it looks like you need a new cap. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Any artist that's not like that isn't going to be around for long.
Right. Right.
You gotta look out for the homies in the community.
You gotta support each other. We're pretty close knit community, and we kind of like almost like a family. And you really do need to support each other to survive, and just be happy for each other's success. Which sometimes it's hard because you get a little jealous. You're like, oh well, how come that didn't happen for me? What am I doing wrong? And then you kind of have to take a step back, and you're like, okay. Yeah. Okay, that's not healthy. That's not good thinking. Let's breathe. Be happy for them. It's great.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. You can't compare yourself.
No. Oh my God. That's like a very dark, scary road that you don't want to go down.
Miserable.
Yeah. That makes you a miserable person. You don't want to be that.
Yeah.
So
other than I think it helps if you compare habits sometimes, like, oh, this person seems to have their entire life together and I have nothing together. And they're like, oh, I noticed that they wake up at this time and they eat this kind of shit. It's like, maybe that's give me some ideas at least.
Yeah, maybe that'll help.
Speaking of habits, what are just some habits that you do follow that you think work well for your art or just art in general or your lifestyle?
So I've been getting better because as far as stickers are concerned, I never really feel like I have enough because I'm either trading with someone or I'm giving them to people. I love giving stuff away. I don't really sell my stickers, but I will sit myself down and I'll, have a sticker goal. I'll be like, okay, I want to cut 30 tonight or 50 tonight or 100 tonight. 100 really never ever happens, but I try. But I just have to discipline myself to sit down and work on posters because I hand paint all of my stuff, hand draw some of it too. And it's just making yourself sit down and actually put the work and effort and time into it. Because if you don't, you're not, it's going to go nowhere. You can't expect miracles to happen if you're not willing to put the work and time into it.
Definitely got to sit down and like dedicate hours every day to what you love.
Yeah.
The thing about like selling stickers is, you might not sell it. You might not like the idea of selling it, but I'm sure you have an audience that would like to get it somehow.
Yeah.
So how do you work with that? I mean, do you have people reach out to you? I mean, what do you do?
All the time. I have people reach out asking me for my stickers, and I just, I work full time. So this is more something that I do on the side. So I don't have as much time for it as I would like. So this is in the upcoming months. My goal is to actually open an online shop because people keep asking for my stickers, and
it's easier than ever to open an online shop.
It is.
2 seconds.
Like everyone has a big cartel. So it's like, okay, I can do this. I have to really, it's also kind of being brave as well, because I'm afraid like there's a voice inside my head that says, you're going to open a shop and people are going to buy nothing. And I'm just like, oh, well, okay.
Well, in the beginning they won't.
Yeah.
Right,
even
right.
Even if they don't, like, what did you lose? Fucking
Exactly,
like an hour of your time.
Exactly.
Like it's so not a risk. You have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
The thing about it too is like, it's a very, we live in a really digital world.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
How do you work with putting your art out in a digital sense?
Like, what do you mean? Like
how do you, you put stickers around town, but do you promote yourself digitally?
I do. Yeah. I have an Instagram, and I post photos of stuff that I'm working on or shows that I'm going to be in, or, I'll also promote friends as well, or sticker artists that I know and love. So I am interacting quite a bit on Instagram. Sometimes I have to take a step away because it feels a little suffocating at times. But I am pretty active for the most part on Instagram. Not so much Facebook, but Instagram is kind of my jam. And I feel like everyone is using it. And it's the best way to kind of spread your art and spread your message and connect with people. I love the connections, like the positive connections with people are amazing. They make me feel great because there are people that I may never meet. And then I've actually met people who follow me and they say that they're fans and stuff. And my heart just like explodes into confetti because it's like, oh my gosh, I am just a regular person. I go to a day job. I'm completely and utterly normal, and this person's telling me they're a fan. Like it just makes you feel really great and also anxious at the same time to have that experience with someone. So yeah, I promote mostly on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram definitely seems the most fitting for this style of art.
Yeah.
Do you do any, like, I always try to ask about people's like strategy. A lot of people don't like to say it, but I know that we definitely play around. We experiment a lot here. We experiment with boosted posts. We try to even do like some paid ad stuff just to see like how it works, just because we apply it to like client work as well.
Yeah.
I mean, have you experimented with that, and have you got good results from it?
So I had an account before the one I have now, and that actually got hacked and deleted, and I could never. Yeah, the reason I had gotten that account had about, I think, like 14K or something, and it was because the day after David Bowie passed away, I was just like in this horrible mood. I was like, this is terrible. Like, I am just so sad right now, and so I made this poster of his face. Drove to Seattle, wheat pasted it, and it was just kind of like my release, like saying goodbye, because I was just emotionally I grew up with him. I grew up with his music and his, movies, and it was just like, oh my gosh, like it felt like it came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And people started finding the Bowie poster, and these posts start popping up all over Instagram with my hashtag, like Hello Kitska, and I was like, holy shit. And overnight, it just felt like there were people that more and more people were finding me because of this Bowie poster that I'd put in Pike Place for my own therapeutic release. Like, I didn't do it for anybody else. And that was just so overwhelming and wonderful at the same time. So I think really sometimes it's luck. I got lucky. And now that I have to start over again, it's just me more interacting, just genuine interactions with people, liking posts, reaching out to people, that kind of stuff.
So you don't know why it got deleted necessarily?
No, I have not figured it out.
How long ago was that?
It was probably 2 years ago.
So it was, okay.
Damn.
A year ago? I don't know. It's been a while, and I was like, okay, you know what? This is fine. It was kind of refreshing at the same time as well, because I was like, okay, like my life is not tied up in this account. I am not like, this doesn't define me as a person or as an artist.
A lot of people experience that.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, okay, because there are people who are really connected to their accounts, and then they lose them, and they're like, my life is over. And it's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Like you can get it back together. You're gonna have to work hard again, but like, you know, it'll get there. You know, people love you, they love your work, you'll be fine.
If Instagram disappeared, what would you go to?
I don't know. I like when I asked Scam about how street artists and graffiti artists like communicated back in the day before all of this internet stuff, he said they used to leave like letters and stuff for each other at spots that they would paint, I guess. And that sounded really cool. You know, I'm like, why don't we do that? That would be great. I mean, obviously we have all this internet stuff, so we're going to use that because it's easier.
Carrier
but
pigeons and stuff. It's like, oh,
it would be great.
there's RX's pigeon. It's got a little skull on his back. It's like, that's him.
That'd be awesome. I don't know, I'd probably go to Facebook or Tumblr. I liked Tumblr a lot.
Yeah, Tumblr was kind of the OG thing.
More in college, I guess I really liked Tumblr,
Right.
and then I kind of grew out of it. And I go back and
Right.
look at it every once in a while because Tumblr is like, you can post anything you want on there.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit. And it's like, oh, cool.
It's harder to have hyper personalized things on the internet at this point. People want it's hard to feel comfortable going to a site that's not connected to the rest of the internet
Yeah.
at this point. Like it really is. Like you don't like that. I think that's why Tumblr's dying because they're so personal. It's like, oh, this is someone's diary. It's like, I don't want your diary. I want what you're doing that's connected to the rest of the world, which is how Instagram feels because of hashtags. I mean, there's tags in every blog, but they don't work the same way that they do on Instagram, where it's just so literally instant.
Yeah.
You know, and I go on the internet and I'm just like, if this site isn't connecting me to a giant fucking community, I don't even want to be on it a lot of the time. Like, why isn't your video on YouTube? Like, why can't I go mix your content with everyone else's content? It's so weird how quickly that's
What
happening.
are you referring to? Like, which ones?
I'm talking about like, again, like what I just said. I can't think of a specific site because I don't go to them, or like not a lot of people do this anymore.
I mean, I feel like I
but
experiment a lot.
Tumblr would be a good. Well, like Tumblr would be a good example because so many people post photos and there's no tie back to where it was. There's no blog. They don't tell you what blog they got it from. They don't tell you anything. You're just like, oh, here's a photo. I don't know what it's of. And then you have a caption. Okay, this is too disconnected. Whereas opposed to like on a website, like our website, like we post a thing and it's like, it's on YouTube. It's on this. It's got all these, you know what I mean? It's connected to the rest of the internet.
Right. Well, that's just because Facebook. Facebook it should basically just become the news.
I'm
like a really shitty news source.
I'm even talking
source.
about just blackbulb.com, blackbulbcreative.com is still more connected just because you can.
Yeah, because you have different platforms. Like
Right, yeah, you can reach out. You can, Vimeo's on here. YouTube's on. You know what I mean? Instead of like, if you were to like host the video yourself, you're pulling yourself away from, I don't know.
It kind of is, but it depends on
what it is. If it was like a banner video or an intro video, then it would be great to host it yourself, right?
Depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, if you, like I always say, if you have a site, you don't usually want to use YouTube links because it's just going to drag people off into the YouTube sphere.
Yeah.
But
except for the way we do it with the blog and the podcast and whatever.
It's complicated.
Yeah, well, exactly. No, it is. Well, because like if you have an embedded banner that you would want to, and it was a video that you'd want to be hosting yourself because that's original content. That's actually huge. That's the last time you would ever want to connect yourself to the rest of the internet. But at the same time, if you have nothing else because like that gives you credentials at this point. If you they're associated with these people I already know. They're associated with these people I don't know. Oh, these people have endorsed them. That makes a big difference. If no one knows who you are, and a lot of the times people are going to your website to learn more about you. I don't know. What do you think?
Kind of.
I think it's a lot different in this scenario though, because the art is everywhere. Like you walk down the street and you can see it. I don't have to be on the internet to see these people's art.
Oh, I'm talking specifically about the internet.
No, I know, but like
let's just. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, it's fine.
I mean, if you're an artist and you have a website, it's good to show your social links, but I don't think like the content on your site should lead off into something like YouTube. I think you should embed it if you can, or use a Vimeo link where it's not going to go straight to like dogs pooping videos. You know, it's going to be more like contained.
Right.
Especially with like emails, don't have it be a YouTube link. I don't know. I mean, you just got to like think about what you want the consumer to do.
Yeah. If it's art, I guess that's actually a really good point.
Yeah, it's easy. Like people get so distracted.
Yeah.
Like more distracted than ever before.
Yeah. Like,
but they also have a tolerance for information that they didn't come there to see.
Yeah.
So you got to take that into consideration. Like, I don't have that much of their attention. I got to be really quick and to the point with this shit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Attention spans are really short nowadays.
Tolerance.
I feel.
The tolerance.
No,
Like they only put up with so much before
Yeah.
they're like,
I'm bored.
I'm done with it.
Now that I
Done.
think about it, most artists' websites that I've seen, are pretty disconnected. But on purpose, because it's like, hey, this is my thing. If you want to get it, you got to go through
Yeah.
me, and it's
Well,
the only way to get it.
And they might have a link on the bottom that links out to YouTube if they have one, or links out to their
Even then,
Facebook.
it's
I
like,
mean,
no, but
it's
I
just
see
to
what
show
you're
that
saying.
you have it.
Yeah, mine actually links to Instagram, and I forget what else, but there is a video as well on my
Yeah.
website. It's hellokitska.com.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
Nice little plug.
but it's also pretty personal. So, yeah, it's just connected, I think, mostly to Instagram, though.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I mean, let's face it, a lot of street artists aren't professional marketers.
No.
They do what they think that works, and frankly, they do a good job at it. It's so visual, and the digital world is so visual that it works.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you're doing a good job.
You say
Thanks.
they're not.
I try.
You say they're not
Kind of.
marketers, but they literally are.
They
are.
Dude,
Are.
they're not
You know,
digital marketers.
they are.
They're not digital marketers.
You know
usually.
what's funny is I just had a conversation with a marketing expert earlier today,
Oh.
and the other thing he does is visual art.
Yeah.
The two things he does is visual art and marketing.
It helps so much.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, he's like, oh, I did. Because it's so much of the same mindset. Because a lot of the visual art he does using products from other companies.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he like builds his art that way, and it's like the most insane blend of visual art and marketing I've ever heard.
I mean,
but
Andy Warhol, like,
Right.
literally just
Mhm.
used,
Other
commercial
people's crap,
items
yeah.
and put it in art and
Pop art.
Oh, people
I mean,
loved him to death. They were
Yeah.
eating it up
Yeah.
left and right, and he's just kind of laughing his way to the bank.
kind of
Yeah.
what Ace Troy does, sort of too. I mean,
Kinda.
he's drawing other people's inventions, but he's juxtaposing them in
I love his
Yeah,
work.
but-
silly ways. Yeah, we
And
do
but
do
like,
that.
let's also. I mean, when I think of marketers too, there's like that kind of marketer, but then there's also the other kind where it's all SEO. It's like front end versus back end site development.
you mean the more
like
data driven,
like drip campaigns,
You mean
like
more statistical?
like if you hire a marketer, they should know that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different.
Yeah, no. And what's funny is this guy was well versed in all that stuff. He's done it
Yeah.
all. He was actually telling me to do all kinds of stuff that I've said we should do like 1,000 times, and I was like, yeah, I know. But
Like
got that.
strange
But-
workflows.
what do you mean?
Like how, okay, if you, let's say you have like the different personas of your consumer, like the path that you want them to go within your content, and also the drip campaigns of how you feed them information from there. It can get really complicated. It's like a headache. It's a fucking headache.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, if you look at SEO, Alex has an SEO chart.
I have like a web of like
one of the most-
importance of SEO, like categories, and then difficulty.
And it's like-
what-
Yeah, it's like SEO oversimplified, but it looks like the most complex thing in the entire world.
it's really simple, and it's actually really easy just to go off that.
yeah.
And Rand Fishkin puts it out.
Yeah. Rand Fishkin's a genius at oversimplifying SEO stuff.
Rand Fishkin is a genius who started an amazing company and like got fired from his company.
Oh,
but
shit.
it doesn't even matter because he just started another one. He's like
Yeah.
wrote
He's
a
like,
book about
"Eh."
he like wrote a book about how he got fired and shit. Like he doesn't care, and he's just so
Yeah.
confident. He's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'll crush it in another one.
Holy shit. That's awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, we went into a deep rabbit hole of marketing.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Sorry
it's
about
okay.
that.
That's-
I
yeah,
was,
yeah.
was listening. So contently.
Well, congratulations to you for listening. Because I don't think most people
Yeah,
get
I think,
annoyed
I,
when
think
we
I tapped out for a second there.
fucking-
No,
Yeah, Luke always
I'm a pretty
taps
good
out.
listener. I
That's
don't
pretty
know.
good. Yeah, no, all the stuff is pertinent to anyone who wants to do any kind of digital marketing. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
you can figure it out yourself, or you can pay someone else to do it. Doesn't matter. You
Yeah.
got to do it, or you can just get really lucky and actually be that amazing at whatever it is you do that your fans carry you. But even then, it's like that's not. No one carries you that far. The fans carry you to the point where someone who's into marketing catches your attention, and then they do your marketing.
Yeah.
It's always one or the other. No one's doing it entirely by themselves, with maybe
Yeah.
one or two, a couple of exceptions. But like ultimately, everybody's got someone helping them out.
It's all
That's-
about understanding your audience.
Yeah,
If you
it
know
really
if you
is.
know what they like, just keep doing it.
Yeah, it's interesting because sometimes I get personal, and I think maybe that turns some people off, or some part of the audience is like, ugh, unfollow. I don't want your personal life. I don't care. And then there are people who connect to that, and they message and are like, oh, I went through that too, or I feel that too, and it's like, okay, cool. Like this feels more genuine. This is good. I mean, as I get a lot of guidance from Scam, because I'm still fairly new to this. I've only been doing it for almost 3 years. So he kind of baby steps with me, you know, kind of gently guiding me along, but also letting me to like learn things on my own. So it's definitely been an interesting journey so far with him.
Is there anything you'd like to see change about the street art community?
Nothing that I can think of right now. It's growing rather rapidly.
Rapidly?
It might be too fast. I don't know. There are new people that are popping up. I think it's slowed down right now. I don't know though. Like it feels like every week there's like somebody new that pops up and you're like, who is this? Like, where did you come from? Like, so I feel like I don't know a lot of the people now that are coming out because it's just happening so quickly.
What would you say is a no-no?
I mean, don't cap other people's work. Don't go over other people's work. That's so shitty. And it's just kind of like a slap in the face, like taking your glove off and slapping someone and then just like walking away.
So what is the appropriate way for someone's street art to be destroyed or removed?
I mean, if it has been gone over by, or if it's rotting away and you can't see it anymore, like if there's a paper sticker on a sign or something and I can't see anything on it, I'm like, okay, that's my spot now, you know?
Yeah.
If the sticker's falling apart, if you can't see the poster, read what's on it, or if it's like if it's barely there, I think that's okay, you know, to take over that spot. But if you can still see the person's name or signature, or you can still see their image, like you should just back off, hands off. I think I'm a lot more polite though, and like very careful because I don't want to piss people off.
You seem very polite.
Yeah. Thank you.
You seem like the most considerate street artist you've ever met.
I know, right? For real.
I'm like fairly new to it, so I don't know. I don't like when people beef with each other. I think it's totally silly. I had beef once and it was just kind of like, okay, you can go take that spot back. That's cool. I don't care. And it was like, oh, you know, like if you don't invest all this energy and anger into it, it just kind of dissipates and people are like, oh, you're not mad. I'm not mad. Okay, whatever. Like it just kind of goes away. I'm too old for that shit. Like I'm too old for it. I'm just like, I don't have time for this. Like that's fine. I'll go find another wall.
Not only that, but when shit gets serious, people respect the fact that you, like if anyone wanted to pay you, they'd be like, oh, she's not going to throw a fucking fit over bullshit.
Yeah.
So, and that actually goes a long way professionally.
That's cool.
Yeah. I just, you know, I'm not in my 20s anymore. So I've kind of learned to step away and like take a deep breath with things. Cause I was very like, I would just fly off the handle in my 20s and be like, what the fuck? Or just have this like emotional reaction without even thinking first. And I went through enough of that bullshit in my 20s to be like, okay, all right, we're going to think this through or take a deep breath or take a step back before we react to something, or we're going to be diplomatic about it. I like being diplomatic. I like being, I just don't like fighting with people, I guess. I don't know.
Does. Well, some people probably do. Yeah.
Like, I mean, some people do like to fight. Some people like drama. I don't like that really at all. And I just kind of like, it's like an ostrich. I'll like stick my head in the sand. I'll be like, I am not doing this. No,
Good
thank you.
No, that's good. We need more people like you in the world.
Yeah,
I appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's really sweet. Thanks.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I just said I agree.
Do you think there's a healthy alternative to the beefing that can still promote pushing it to the next level?
I mean, I think sitting down and talking with people and having a conversation face to face, because it's really easy on the internet to like, throw mud at each other and be like, fuck you. And like, fuck you. And it's like, it's so easy because you're like guarded by a screen that's like, ooh, they can't get me. But when you're sitting in front of that person and you're looking at their face into their eyes, it's like, oh, I have a whole new range of emotions here. Okay. Let's either talk this out or, but people, I don't really think people want to fight. Yeah. I think the most naturally, I don't think people want to fight. I'd like to hope not, but
you're off. It's like, bro, that was my mailbox.
Right? It's public. It's like, that's a public wall. That's who cares?
Yeah. It's like, well, actually it's Bob Fraser's mailbox.
Yeah. Right. It's like, I don't know if Bob likes this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all public. It's like we're fighting over this public wall. That's ridiculous. Who cares? I'll move on. I'll find somewhere else to go.
Was there anything you want to promote? You got a show coming up?
So Vinyl Killers is coming up September 27th.
Goodfoot, right?
Yeah, at the Goodfoot.
You're going to be there. That's awesome.
I'm going to be in it. I believe Woke is as well. Scam's going to be in it. There's going to be a lot of people. Everybody's going to be in it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And what else? I do this PDX Art Jam with my friend Kelly Pelka every first Saturday of the month.
Oh.
It's from 1 to 4 at PDX Exchange, and we have a panel of artists creating work. And you can come and you can actually buy the artwork after the artist is finished making it if you want. And the artist makes all the profit, which is really cool. So
Cool.
that's always fun to check that out. I like it. So Kelly and I host that together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh.
Well, how can people find you?
They can find me at hello_Kitska on Instagram, or they can find me at hellokitska.com.
It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you
You'll
very
definitely have
much.
to come back again sometime.
I would love that.
Everyone's out there. Hello, Kitska. She's around. You'll see the little cats.
Cats everywhere.
Well, with that being said, you guys have a good night. Thanks again.
Thank you.